About a year ago, I had someone sit down and explain to me some of the Christian origins of Halloween, and it changed the way that I look at this holiday. And it made me realize that we have a third option for the way that we navigate it as Christians, that it doesn't have to be something that is completely evil that we need to stray away from, and it doesn't also just have to be about candy, that it can actually be a holiday that helps us grow in holiness. And that's what it was originally intended for in the first place. Halloween actually comes from the phrase, the name Halloween actually comes from the phrase All Hallows Eve. What's the day after Halloween? November 1st, which is All Saints Day. So the night before All Saints Day, we as a church are supposed to be preparing ourselves to celebrate the communion of saints that is already in heaven with God. It's All Hallows, so All Holy Eve. But we should be, even on Halloween night, thinking, okay, tomorrow we're gonna be celebrating all these great saints. So something you could do as a family is to sit down with your children and talk to them about the saints, talk to them about the fact that these people who have died are alive in heaven with God. You could talk about specific saints. You could have your children ask for the intercession of particular saints, and you can connect all of that, or you can start doing all of that the night before. The second thing is this idea of kindness and prayer offered to the body of Christ here in the world, to the other people in our neighborhoods and in our lives. And it has to do with the history of trick-or-treating. So originally, trick-or-treating was actually a form of fall caroling. So for Christmas, traditionally, people would go from house to house singing Christmas hymns. This was something that people would do on All Hallows Eve. They would go from house to house and they would sing hymns, and they would offer up prayers, sometimes acts of service for the people in the house, and the exchange would be that these people would give them cookies or cider or wassail or something like that. And that was originally what trick-or-treating was. So you can still do that now, today, with your children. You can tell them, okay, we're going to be going trick-or-treating, but be praying for the people whose houses you go up to. You could even, if you feel really bold, ask the people if they have prayer intentions, or even tell them, hey, we're gonna be praying for you. Again, if you wanna be really bold, you could hand out Bible verses. I know people that do that. They say, hey, we're praying for you, here's a Bible verse. Or you could just tell your children to be praying as they're going from house to house. But it's a way for us to be kind to our brothers and sisters here in the world and to lift them all up and to help them grow in holiness and help them move forward towards heaven. The last thing is the idea of prayer for those who are in purgatory, or prayer for those who have passed on that we hope are on their way to sainthood, or we want to pray and help move along on their way to sainthood. The idea of the jack-o'-lantern, the candles that we put inside of pumpkins were intended to be votive candles. So candles that were lit in memory of a loved one who had passed on, and they're a sign of our prayers for that person. So this can be a beautiful opportunity for you to talk to your children about the fact that they can still show love to their family members or to their friends who may have passed away. That there's a way for us to still be connected with those who have died, because they're still very much alive, and we want to pray for them and do what we can to help them grow in holiness and move towards heaven, that they might be saints in heaven with God as well. So these are some ways that we can really get back to the Catholic roots of Halloween, and a way that we can grow in holiness during this holiday. And so as we approach All Hallows Eve and All Saints Day, we will be praying for you here at Ablaze. Happy All Hallows Eve.